Muy buenas tardes. From here on the balcony of my hotel, I'm overlooking one of the main squares here in Las Tunas in Cuba. It's about 6 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, May 15th. We are in the midst of the series of events that are marking the International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia, which started this morning with a march from a fountain, maybe about half a kilometer or so from where I'm standing, to the main square, which is directly behind me. Maria Castro, the daughter of Cuban President Raúl Castro, led the march. There were a lot of pro-socialism slogans, a lot of support for the government and for the revolution, and just really, quite honestly, it was just a lot of fun. There were a lot of dancers, both young and old people. Lots of folks done stilts, stilt walkers, and there were even folks from here in Las Tunas who were dressed basically wearing what looked like clay, so they'd cover themselves with clay. It was really quite a fun thing to cover. I even found myself dancing the Cuban rumba at one point when the musicians started to perform as they walked down the main street here. So it really was quite a colorful and quite a festive thing to see. Maria Castro herself paid tribute to one of what they call the Cuban martyrs. There's a monument here in Las Tunas in the square directly behind me that honors his impact on the 10-year war of independence between Cuba and Spain back in the 1800s. So she paid tribute to him. At the end of that, basically, she said, "Viva la revolución, viva el socialismo," and then gave a speech about the Jornada, the International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia, where she talked a lot about the law here in Cuba, which includes sexual orientation, and the labor code. Gender identity is not included in that. And she, as a member of parliament, voted against that. But she really stressed the point of highlighting the fact that laws alone aren't necessarily going to change things. So it takes education, it takes sensitizing the population to LGBT-specific issues. So that was the message she really tried to deliver to her supporters here today. Interestingly enough, across the street from where she was speaking, there's a huge banner with her uncle, Fidel Castro, supporting the goals and the ideals of the revolution. So that was a really interesting backdrop, visual backdrop of her speech here this morning. And then there was a community fair in the square directly beneath my room here at the Hotel Cadillac where I'm staying, where there were LGBT rights advocates from here in Las Tunas and the provincias, and then also a lot of folks came down here from Havana. I can vouch personally, it's a very long trip to get down here, so they were here tonight. There's going to be a dance gala across the street at the theater, and then we're all going to head over to the Cabaret Taino, which is a little bit on the outskirts of the city here at Las Tunas, and there's going to be a party. So whatever you might want to say about the Cuban government being here in Cuba, one thing is for sure is that the Cubans really know how to have a good time. There were people even doing a conga line in the square behind me at about 10 o'clock this morning, so, which is very par for the course here in Cuba. Everywhere you go, as you can hear right now, there's music playing, people are dancing in the streets, people were salsa dancing, men and women together. So it's just a really colorful country, a really colorful thing to cover. And yeah, so again, I just really am fortunate to have the chance to be here. I do feel a bit cut off from the world because the communications infrastructure is quite basic, so it takes a while for me to connect with everyone and to just get the word out as to what's going on here. But yeah, so far it's been a very interesting and very good experience. It's like about half over. I'm heading back to Havana tomorrow, meeting somebody in Santa Clara, and then may just stop at one of the beaches. It's really hot here today, so I want nothing more than to jump into the ocean. It's probably about 95 degrees here and extremely humid. Yeah, it's definitely the tropics. So with that said, I will talk to you next from when I get back to Havana, which will be late tomorrow night. Muy buena suerte. Gracias.